Hey, y'all. Guess what? We're talking about friendship um, and relationships because they kind of go together. And so I got some nuggets that I just kind of want to share with you today, and it's going to be good. It's going to be insightful because relationships are many times they are hard to navigate. And so I want you to listen intensely on this thing called friendships and relationship. Listen up. Well, today we're going to talk about friendships, relationships, and when you think about friendships and relationships, actually, it can very well be a risky thing, right? Because anytime you're entering into a relationship, you're not knowing exactly what to expect. You don't even know many times why a person have come into your life. So it's so important, I think, that when we meet new people, that we need to know why are they here? Why are you in my life? What are you going to bring to my life? Or are you going to bring something to my life? Or are you going to subtract something from my life? Or we're just kind of buds and we're just kind of helping each other out. So I think that's so important because relationships can be very risky. Why? Because you're dealing with different people, different personalities, different upbringings, different standards of life, how they process things, how they evaluate things. People internalize things from a very different perspective than what you may. And so that's what causes us to be so unique. And I think that relationships of any type was always going to stretch you because everybody is so different. And so you're having to learn to navigate that. Another thing that I was thinking about relationships is really boundaries because you got to realize and know that you have to set boundaries in every form of relationship. There has to be boundaries because therefore, if I feel that I've been trespassed on or taken advantage of or abused or not heard, that can create a problem. So we got to know what boundaries do I set. And like I said, every relationship has some form of boundaries, and you got to determine what those boundaries are. What are your boundaries in a relationship? So that's so important. Also, thought about the word grace because I think in any type of relationship, there got to be grace that has to be extended because everyone is not going to deduct things the way you are. People going to get on your nerve. People going to, um, just kind of like push you to the limit, you know? So you got to know how to exert grace as well. And so when we think about God and his love for us, I mean, that's one of the things that he does. He gives us grace. He gives us grace every day. And so it's so important that we take his example and we extend the same grace that Jesus extended to us all the times. I mean, just think about how many times you mess up or you fall short or whatever the case may be. God always extend grace. And then another thing that I talk about many times in relationships is really forgiveness. It's so important that you learn how to forgive. And many times forgiveness can be on a daily basis. It can be all the time. And so it's so important that you know how to walk in forgiveness. Many times people in relationships and they actually, you'll be surprised, totally surprised, how many times people walk in total unforgiveness. They have walked in unforgiveness 5 or 10 years. Their ex-husband did something 20 years ago and they're still hovering it and thinking about it and meditating on it. And so anytime they go into another relationship, they look at their relationship out of the lens of where they come from a previous relationship. So I always say that in order for you to have a successful relationship, you got to dump some things, right? You can't carry your baggage into a new relationship or it's going to be disastrous. It is not going to work. And so it can be a lot of work. That's why I say relationships are so risky. I'm thinking about maybe friendships that I've had. I had one friendship that I've had for years. We kind of like grew up together in the neighborhood. And we still talk periodically, not all the time, but we talk periodically. And we have a good conversation. And I enjoy the conversation that I have with her. And so there are some relationships that are kind of like lifelong relationships. They're not going nowhere. And so you learn how to maneuver and what asset do they bring to the relationship. So that's it on relationships and friendships. Check me next time because I still got a little bit more to say on this thing called relationships and friendships.